So we have a bunch of planes crossing our region from north to south or from east to west, but we don't have any planes landing right here in the region of Chaos Hills. But this will change today. Welcome back. And I want to grab those 3 tiles next to our bigger city, next to Douglas, because it's a very flat area. So I think we can work with this. And I want to build a rural airport, not a big international one, no, because we have only 50,000 people, or we are living just shy of 50,000 people here. So I think a rural airport would make sense. So let's get rid of some trees. I laid out some roads, and then I grabbed this nice asset. It's the rural airport asset. I found a workshop which you can detail up yourself. And if you know me, you know I love a good detailing episode. So it's a functional airport, and it's pretty cool. I will link it in the description. And then we go in immediately at the first line to the first neighboring city. And I grabbed a bunch of planes as well, and I think we can go in with the United Airlines Boeing 737 MAX to start with. And I also grabbed a bunch of props, and I want to add all the props here on one space so I can see what I can work with and see how I can detail up this airport with those props. Speaking about detail, we want to detail up the runway first, and I think we are heading north if we look towards the water. So we use the landing direction 36, which means 360 degree, and we will put the landing direction 1A to the other side of the runway. And then we work with the more or less accurate lines right here. And look at this, the first United Airlines plane is coming in. Pretty cool, looks pretty nice. And there we go, I added all the decals to the runway. So this is cool. Now let's go in and add some holding lines, I think, and some taxi lines, and maybe some lines to border the runway. And I think it will come together pretty good. Let's see what we can do. I mean, we don't have to go too crazy in terms of lines and decals, but I think more or less accurate. Because I work in aviation, I want it at least a little bit realistic. And I added this parking position. Is a little weird. They park here in this direction, blocking the rest of the taxi area, the apron. But I think that's fine for a small airport. So if we decide to add another stop behind the first parking spot, yeah, they just have to wait. So I want to try this by adding another custom stop for planes, for passenger planes. I hope it works. And then I grabbed a bunch of props from the harbor, from the modular harbor, and want to use it a little bit as a small terminal. The tower, I don't know, I didn't find anything better. Nothing against tower, but I think it's a little big and a little bright. I cannot recolor it as well, so it's maybe a little big for this rural airport, but for now we can work with it. Maybe I will find a better tower and replace it, or not a better, a more fitting tower is what I wanted to say. And I grabbed those Korean, I think it's a Korean fence or Japanese fence. I think this fits pretty cool to the airport, pretty big and secure. So we can add a fence around the airport. And then I think this can be a little airport parking lot right here. So let's add our custom airport lot. I think our custom parking lot, sorry, I don't know what I just said. Yeah, let's add a little custom parking lot. I think this is enough for this little airport, for this little rural airport, I think at least. And by the way, if you like what you see, you can of course leave a like, leave a subscription, say hello in the comments, would be cool, would be very lovely. Thank you so much. So now let's add some parking spots. We will detail this up with some, I don't know, maybe a booth and some machines, some snack machines or something like this. We need to add the invisible roads as well, so it will be functional. And I think it's a nice little start for the outskirts of the little rural airport. I don't know how we're gonna call it. For now it's the Chaos Hills airport, but if you have any better ideas, any creative ideas, we could add a name. Chirpy Shores Airport maybe is the idea. Maybe I will do a poll on YouTube as well. I don't know. But if you have any name ideas for the airport, any other name ideas, of course, leave it down below in the comments. Thank you so much. Now let's add some more fans to this. And I like to see the train just directly passing next to the airport. This is a nice little cool addition. I don't think I will add a train stop, We will add some bus stops later on, maybe some taxi stops as well, but we can get away without a train stop, I think, for now. If you want a train stop, let me know. Maybe we should add a little train station. What do you think? For now, just bus is fine, I think. Below the tower here, we can add some employee parking for the air traffic controllers, I think is a good idea. And then we can add some more details around the airport with some props and decals. So let's see what we can do and what we can find. Let's go. Alright, now let's add some bus stops right here. We can immediately go in and add a bus line. I think we will add a express line coming from the main train station to the airport. This would make sense. And some taxi stops as well. And of course, we will add some imperfections. This is what we always do right here, just to give it a little more realistic look. And now let's add a bus line. We can maybe add a blue line. It's the airport shuttle line, can be the color blue, and just from the train station is set to the airport, and then they can switch lines. They can switch to other bus lines, to the train, to the tram, everywhere at the main train station. So this is fine. And we don't want to build only an airport today. No, I want to add little low residential areas. So we have some smaller houses which live right next to the airport, but also next to the water. We will extend our little beach we have here on the left lower side of screen. So then I think it's okay. I mean, you can absolutely live next to such a small airport. I think we will pimp this neighborhood up with a little park and stuff. And of course, I extended the beach, so they have this for them at least. This is okay, I think. Let's add some trees, and we can extend the fence up to the coastline, I think, and then we can add some bushes so we have a little separation. All right, and now let's add the next plane connection to the next neighboring city, I think. And I hope this will work because it's our custom-made stop. I don't know if it works. I added invisible path, and I think it's connected to the road, and I hope it works. This time we can use the other airline, so we can go with the American Boeing 737 MAX this time, I think. So we have two. What was this? Oh man. Anyway, so we have two airlines here at the airport, two regional airlines. I think it's fine. Let's detail up the speech just a little bit, and then we can see the scenario if the first plane blocks the second plane. So this is okay. I think this scenario won't happen too often. Every line only has one plane, so this is fine for this small airport. We can work with this. And now let's surround it with some trees and with some farming as well. So it's a little at the edge of our city, for now at least. I think this is fine. It's a nice little spot for the airport, I think. And I love to see the trains running by. This is so cool. Okay, now let's detail up our neighborhood a little bit further with some parks. And I grabbed a nice statue I want to bring in this park. The flamingo statue by Riza. I will, if I don't forget it, I will add the link to this statue in the video description as well. First of all, I want to extend the path a little bit. I want to swap the surface of the grass. And this is just such a great statue by Riza. Good job. So I think this stands out. It looks pretty cool here next to the beach. You can see it from far away. I like this statue very much. It fits very good in this space here in the center of this small plaza as well. So let's surround it with some trees, and this is fine. People will be happy. Now let's detail up this neighborhood just a little bit further. right, so far so good. Let's get rid of some unnecessary crosswalks, and I think this turned out pretty good. I like this look. I like the look of this neighborhood. On the other side of the main road, I want to call it main road, we can add a little commercial and industrial shared space. So let's add a big McDonald's. We can add some more fast food chains right here. We can add, of course, a gas station would make sense across the airport. And then we need to connect this back roads to the main road, I think, because this wants a car connection. So I think it's a KFC, Taco Bell shared asset. So let's connect those up and swap out some surfaces again and detail this up a little bit. And I think this makes sense. We have some low commercial right here, some fast food next to the airport. I think is a good idea. And I think the rest I want to fill with some warehouses and just some random industrial props. So we can fill out this big space up to the train track is my idea. So they won't be functional for now. We can maybe add some block services, some block industrial services if we want. But for now, I think this is fine. Let's just add some surfaces right here, add some props, add some decals, make it look... Oh, and I forgot the fire trucks. Anyway, make it look more detailed, more realistic, more rundown is the idea. So let's maybe work with some trailer props and some containers, and then we can see how we can make it look more interesting and more imperfect, more run down, a little dirty. You know, it's an industrial space. So let's go. All right, that is it for today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you liked it. I hope you like how it turned out. We have the planes departing, we have them arriving. The American Airlines line doesn't have any passengers yet. I don't know if it has to do with my custom stop or not, but maybe we will wait and see. The United Airlines line has some passengers. We can have a look a little bit. Here we have 7 passengers coming in. So this is fine, and we have 20 passengers leaving the city. So it works, at least partly. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you back here in my next episode. I'm Chaos Fun. Have a good one. Bye bye.